Hi guys, good evening. Can you guys check whether your friend is here or not? If they are not here yet, please do inform your friends to join the class as soon as possible because today we have a lots of things to be covered. Hello? Did anyone hear me?
Yup, I can hear you, miss.
Hello? Did
Yup,
you hear me?
yup, I can hear you, miss.
Yeah, means I can hear you.
Wait a minute. Hello? Can you guys hear me? Oh, sorry, I can't hear any of you.
We can hear you, but you you're kind of like soft.
Oh, sorry. So is it okay now?
Yeah, I'm clear.
Yes.
So today you're going to learn a little bit of maths. Okay. And then you're going to do some designing again based on your user experience. As previously you already learned about user interface design, right? Correct or not?
Yup,
So now you're going to design based on the user experience. So where you will put yourself as the user in the perspective as a user to design. Okay, so if you still remember lab practical that I've shared to you previously, what you need to draw based on user interface. What is the lab activities that I asked you to draw? Is about gardening system, right? Gardening apps, right? So that one you already illustrate based on the user interface design. Okay, it's just a simple interface design. So today you're going to implement some of the things into the considerations for you to design a proper apps that can suit for everyone. Okay, so I have given you a lots of research based questions, right? So I want you to tell me what is the difference between user interaction design, user interface design, and user experience design. What is the difference between these three? As I know, the first two you already learned, so now is only the user experience, right? So I want you to find out what are these three difference and why does these three interrelated with each other. I give you until 12:30 and then I will choose three of you to share your answer. Okay?
Miss, what was it again? A user.
User interaction design, user interface design, and user experience design. So what are the differences between three of these and how are these three are interrelated? Okay? For the differences, I strongly suggest you to use table form. If you can't see the, if you can't remember the question already, share the question inside the chat box. Okay? Okay, are you guys done? Can I have one representative from KD, one representative from SJ, one representative from Penang, and one representative from KL? So we start with KD. As usual, if I call your name, you are not answering me, so I will remove you from the class as I think you are somebody is not relevant to my class. Okay? So, Chongyi, can you share what you have find?
Okay. Miss, can you see?
Okay.
So this is what I find. The up table compare is for the different of user interaction design, user interface design, and user experience design. So basically, the three design is the main difference is user interaction design is for how user interact with the system, and user interface design is for visual layout and design of screen like and button, and user experience is overall the user satisfaction and experience lah. After that, the goal IXD is make interaction intuitive and responsive. UI is make the product visually pretty and usable. This UX is ensure product is useful, usable, and enjoyable. Like this. And then the second question is, how does three interrelated with each other? First, UX is already include the UI and IXD as an explanation. UX is the umbrella, and then UI is support UX. IXD is bridge UI and UX. Oh, wait. Maybe like this.
Maybe like this. Okay, thank you, Chongyi. Let's ask from SCKD 2400249. SCKD 2400249.
Yes.
Show me what have you find from the 15 minutes of your research.
Sorry, miss, I think I can't share my screen because my laptop got some problem, cannot join the meeting, so I using my phone.
So what did you do when
I
15 minutes just now?
I
You
got
didn't
some
do
research.
nothing.
I got some
Huh?
research
You got some message where?
on my laptop.
It's okay. You can open your cam and show me what did you do on your laptop.
Okay, wait.
Hmm. Okay, can you explain a bit what you have find?
Uh, so the difference between the interaction design, user interface design, and the user experience design. For
Mm-hmm.
the interact design, the definition is to focus on how user interact with the product or the system. And
Mm-hmm.
for the user interface design, they
Mm-hmm.
focus on the look and feel of the product interface. And for
Okay.
user experience, they focus on the overall experience of the user with the product. So,
Mm.
so
So,
the interaction design, their goal is make the interaction and intuitive and efficient. And for the user interface design, they make the interface attractive and easy to use. And for the user experience design, they ensure the product meets user needs and the expectation.
okay. Thank you. So next, I want Parmit. Parmit, are you here?
Yes, I am. One moment.
Sure. Okay.
Can see?
Can.
Okay. So, the user interface design like UID, it's like about the visual and then the design. Then, like in the app, like as soon as you enter, it will like make it clear and attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, the user interaction is like the system, like it has to like for actions. Like it has to be smooth so that like it will be like it wouldn't like be like buffering or like as soon as you click a button it wouldn't like just stop there and then you wait for a few minutes then only it goes through, so it makes it like smooth and clear lah, make it more efficient. Then
Mm.
the user experience is to provide like meaningful and positive experience so that they would like to keep using it, like the app, the layout, they would like to keep using it so that because it's easier and much more like friendlier, so it's not too complex. So
Okay.
like the differences are like the UID, it's like how it looks. The ULX is the user actions, like they swipe and they touch and they select other icons. And UX is how it feels. So like it's like not too hard to understand like what the app is trying to provide.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Mm. Okay. So last one, Lim Junjie.
Yes.
Can you show me what you have find?
Yeah.
Oh. Function.
This is what I find. UX is about the overall experience a person has when interacting with a product, system, or service. It focus on how useful usable and enjoyable the interaction is. And second is UI. UI is a visual and interactive part of a product that user interact with directly. It focus on the look and the feel of the product. And last is interaction design. Interaction design is a subset of UX that focus on how user interact with a product. For example, it deal with the behavior and functionality of interactive element.
Mm. Okay.
Okay,
So
thank you.
thank you everyone who do the sharings. So after you do the research, what do you think about it? Do you think it is important for us to learn about this kind of design or not?
Important. I was thinking
Why? Why you think it is important?
because if let's say you miss out maybe user interface, we didn't focus in user interface or either one. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
I just example lah. If let's say don't have user interface, is it user easy to understand it clearly, or maybe in the website or application interface is not interacted the user, is it so the got a good interface, the nice and clearly interface, so the user maybe easy to use, user friendly lah.
Oh, okay. I got one answer already to attract the user. How about Jeffrey? Why do you think that we need to learn about UI UX? Hmm. Jeffrey Wong Chia Lee. Jeffrey Wong Chia Lee. Jeffrey Wong Chia Lee. So this fella seems like not interested, and he also not here. So guys, can I remove him since he does not have interest to learn today?
Yep.
Okay. So next, Lai Bentley. Lai Bentley.
Yes, miss.
Ah.
Um,
So why do you think UI UX is important for you to learn besides to attract users? Why you think it is important?
because uh, website and application is designed for user, so the UI UX is most important.
Why it is very important? There must be a reason, right?
Sorry, can I share?
You can say anything you want. You can speak in Malay also if you want. If you can't translate in English.
No, I mean I don't know now. I need to research.
You need to research the importance. Okay, you put yourself as a user. Okay, put yourself as a user. Think why you want to use this application. Due to the design ke, due to the function ke, or due to what?
Bluetooth also important.
The
The
purpose
function and
lah.
the look.
Oh, the function. Okay, if the function that you want to use does not fulfill what you as a user want to use, okay, does not fulfill lah your requirement, will you use the app even though it is really what you want?
I will look another. I look another lah.
You will look another one lah. So
I know
it means
it.
that due to the function also lah, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And then we go for Chong Yi.
Yeah.
Why you think that one is very important?
Learn the UI UX is important is because if we learn the UI UX, we can know how to let the application more easy to use for the user and make it look simple lah, to prove the user experience.
If it does not help you, do you use it?
If I will make a reference or the research like that.
Okay. So, thank you for your answers and your cooperation. So, let's start with our today's chapter, okay? So, today is about user experience design, where you will design the applications, the systems, the websites in the perspective of you as a user. So you have to put yourself as a user, and how will you as a user want it to be done? How was the flow of your system? So you design it in the perspective of your user, okay? Not you as a developer. So you have to put yourself as a user instead of developer or a designer, okay? So next, this is our agenda. We have around 10 things needs to be covered. Okay, so since that's why I said you guys have to be here earlier. Okay, so let's go for the introductions. So introduction, user experience design. We have an ISO that have been introduced, which is ISO 9241-210. So this ISO actually is about a standard that provides a guidance on a human-centered design for interactive system. That's why they said a person perception and responses that results from the use of anticipated use of a product, system, or services. Okay, so usually this ISO will give you a guide. Okay, based on human-centered design. You cannot design based on you as a developer, you as a designer. Okay, no, you must put human as your main focus. Okay, so you are focusing to make the interactive system much more usable with different characteristic of humans and ergonomics principles. So usually this one, they will help to improve the effectiveness, the efficiency, user satisfactions, and accessibility. If you as a user does not satisfy enough, that's come your bad review about the apps, right? You guys must have been review a lots of applications. For example, you Honor of Lakes, you complain. The graphic is not nice. There are some glitches. My network is not stable, but my network is stable, but my gaming is keep on lagging. Right? You are keep on complaining about those stuff. Okay? So you now learning these kind of things is to help to improve the effectiveness, the efficiency, and the satisfaction along with the accessibility. Okay, so based on David Banyan, okay, he said that user experience compass all of the aspect for the end user interaction. Who is the end user? Who is the end user? The person who use your apps, who use your website, who use your system. Okay, so you need to make sure that the usability, the accessibility, the aesthetics, and the emotional response that provided by them when they are using your products. Okay, so next, this is few features that you need to cover, as I mentioned just now, usability. When we talk about usability, it must covers about EES, okay, which is effectiveness, efficiency, and satisfaction. When it's about effectiveness, you have to question back to you when you done designing. Does my user can complete the tasks or the activities accurately and completely? How quick they can achieve the goals with minimal effort? Do they happy to use my system? Do they confident to use my system? Okay, so these three questions you must ask before you release your design. Okay, and then we go for the accessibility, where this one you must consider the people who have disabilities. So people who have disabilities, can you provide me few examples? Lai Bentley, can you provide me examples?
Yes.
Huh?
For OKU of he blind, he cannot see the content.
Yes, those who have color blind. Okay. What else? We go for SCKD 249. SCKD 249, what is your name?
My name is Edison.
Oh, Edison. Okay, Edison. So can you give me an example? Users that with a disability beside they have color blinds. Who else?
Uh,
Huh? Oh, as your friend said lah, OKU, huh? What OKU you think can use your apps? What else?
maybe
Beside, maybe?
wait. I don't know how to say it.
Huh? You don't know how to say, you can describe. I don't mind. You
I
can
know
say, or maybe the
Chinese.
you know in Chinese. You tell, I ask somebody to translate for me. You tell what is it in Chinese? I ask the students to explain to me back in English. Edison, what is it?
Like for those
Those?
for those who don't have their ability to use
Who?
their hands.
Oh, handicap lah. Somebody that their fingers maybe normal human have four fingers. So for example, normal people have 5 fingers, maybe that fella only have 3 fingers, or the fingers are attached together like that lah. Is that what you mean?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. So what else? Let's ask to Jeffrey. Jeffrey. So Jeffrey is here. Jeffrey, I'm calling your name. So guys, is it fair for me to remove him, as all of you are responding to me and he's not? Okay, so Farmit, can you give me one users with disabilities beside person who have handicaps, colorblind? Who
Maybe
else?
like they are blind
Blind. Okay,
because
good.
they can't see the what do you call the phone or anything. So like it's like very hard for them to like.
Good. Okay, so as your friend said, we have colorblind person. Okay, we have what else? We have handicapped person. We have blind person. Okay, so that's why they produce a lot of function inside your phone. Okay, so for those who are blind, they can hear the keyboard typing. Okay, have you ever tried closing your eyes and test to type using your phone keyboard. Okay, did you notice that the keyboard sound for each words are different? Huh. Have you ever noticed that?
No.
Huh? No. Okay,
So,
maybe go back. You can try.
okay.
Okay. Then, have you ever seen that your keyboard can be used for left-handed or right-handed? As beside you put it in the full range of view for your keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
That one is for handicap. Okay. So far so good. Do you have any question for now for this one?
Yep. Yep.
So next, we need to entertain about the user's emotional and aesthetic factors. When we talk about emotional, you must create a design and you must ask the question, did my design elicit a positive feelings or a negative feelings? For example, you are using bright color of red, for example, bright red color for your application. So if you as a user, what will you think about those applications? The application, when you open it, is very it's viewed using a bright red color. What do you feel? You feel angry? You feel happy? You feel funny? What is your feelings? So that one you have to think. That one covers about your emotion. Okay? And then the visual appeal of the colors, typography, imagery, and layout are harmonies and on brand. Okay, so all of these questions you have to ask. Is my application suitable for this kind of people? Does it make people happy when they use it? If I use this color, if I use this design, okay? So next, we go for the PAC framework. Okay, because of those questions, okay, they produce a framework named as PAC. Okay, why? Because the designers themselves want the right combination of technologies to support the activities that been done by humans in different contexts. Okay, here itself already give us the information about the PAC. Okay, so the PAC actually stand for P for human, for peoples, in the middle here. We have A for activities. The people will perform an activities, okay, in different contexts, okay, different contexts by using different technologies, okay. So here already give you the full name of the PAC. Why? Why this one is very important? Because it will be useful for analysis and design activity. For what? For us to understand what is the current situation, to see what would be the possible improvement that we can done now and for future improvisement. Okay? And then this one also, when you use the PAC framework, it will be useful for you to create or to develop a personas and scenario. Okay? And then it will help you to explore about the 5W1H, okay, for the users so that the interfaces, the flows that you're going to design are really fit with the people who will use your application. Do you know what is 5W1H?
Yep, I know.
Who doesn't know? Raise your hand. Everyone know, eh? Farmit, you don't know? Benny, you don't know? Chongi also don't know. Okay, so 5W is who, where, when, what, why. For H is how. So you need to have these 6 questions. And you need to find out these 6 questions about from the users. So this would be the main requirement. Okay? So far, do you have any questions?
No.
No?
No,
Okay,
miss.
clear? So, PAC framework. Okay, so PAC, I already mentioned to you, right? PAC is for people or human, which is your end users that interacting with your system, usually they will capture what would be your information. So usually the information they want is from the physical differences. Just now we said people who have disabilities, normal peoples. Okay, so this is very important. Psychological differences, mental model, social differences, attitudinal differences. Okay, so all of this you need to make sure that you are covered. If not, it will be a big issues. Why? Why? Why do you think this one would be a big issues? Huh? Why do you think this one would be a big issues? It cover it well. Why? Why you think it will be very, very big issues if you did not cover for people? Huh? Because each human have different characteristics, they have different senses, they have different priority, they have different abilities, they have different motivation and goals, they have their own understanding and knowledge. Okay? And for activities, the tasks and the workflows that users will carry out, what do they do and how will they do it? Okay, so it will covers about their temporal aspect, the cooperations, the complexity, the safety critical, the contents nature. So all of this they will cover. Okay. Well, for context, is the condition under which activities will occur. So usually we will check based on their environment. What will be their social context? What will be the organizational context? Okay. And then the last one is the technologies, which is platform, tools, or devices that mediate the interaction. It can be your software, it can be your hardware, it can be any of the supporting infrastructures. For example, your input, output, it can be your communications, it can be your content. Okay. So next. So get ready for your calculation part. So inside your pack, okay, in your pack framework, they will introduce you about Fick's law. Okay, so this Fick's law is actually a predictive models of human movement that estimate how long it will take to rapidly point at or acquire a target. So original version, this one is the original version, right? Okay, so you're going to have T, where it stands for time required for you to move. K is average time taken, log base 2 D over S plus 0.5, where D is your distance, S is your size. So this one is the original one. But as we already evolve, so the formula also will evolve. Okay, so when it evolved, it started from 1954, introduced by Fitts, and then they evolved after 6 years. They evolved again, evolved by a person named as Relford, and the current one would be Shannon, 1992. So what would be the differences? Here is the differences. Okay, so they will have a slight tweak from 0.5 to 1. If you can see here, it's the 1. Okay, so this one, okay, they put it as the distance from starting point of your movement to the center of the target for the D. Okay, so the width is your W. Usually you want to know how big the target appears in the direction that you are moving. Okay, so this one is index of difficulty. So from index of difficulty formula, you can find out about the movement. Okay, so you're going to have A as a constant intercept, okay, and B is a slope, and then your times with your ID. So far, do you have any question before we going for the calculation part? Okay, so let's go. So this one, the first questions, ID log base 2, we are using the same formula as this one, okay? So the first question, I want you to implement these formulas. For question 2, you're going to implement these formulas. Okay, read the question carefully. So how you can do this? First, read the question properly, analyze and extract the main important points. For example, assume A equal to 50 ms and B equal to 100 ms per bit. So this one, A and B, they already give you the value. Extract them out. A is what, B is what. And then they say the button is 25 wide. So this, the keyword here is wide. Okay, and sits 150 from the starting point. So which one is which one? You have to identify. Okay, so go back to this one. I think the formula is wrong for this one. Okay, so it's supposed to be D divided by W. Okay, so calculate your index difficulty and calculate for the movement time. Okay, so we go back to this one. D is your distance, W is your width. Okay, so use this formula. So far, are you guys okay?
Yup, I'm listening.
Okay. So try to do it. Extract the value first and see whether you can do it or not. Use the formula here. Where this WD is wrong. It's supposed to be D divided by W. Goes with this one. So try to do it. Do the extraction of the value first. Are you guys done with the extraction of your values? For both questions? Put it in the proper formula placement. Are you guys done?
Not yet. Hold on.
Not yet. Okay. So there will be a keyword for you to identify which one to be placed at where. So white supposed to be D or W. White considered as your width, right? When we talk about 6 and from starting point, it's going to be your distance. Okay? So far, do you have any questions? Done? Farmit, are you done calculating? OB your value for both questions?
I'm calculating.
Oh, I'm calculating. Sorry.
It's okay.
Edison? Edison?
I think
Done already?
haven't.
No, haven't? Haven't. Okay.
Miss,
Uh-huh.
the question one, is it like 6.5 and then T equal to 150?
You should save your answer first. Later I will reveal the answer. You cannot tell
Oh,
so loud. Later your friend copy your answer.
okay.
Miss, I know her.
Huh?
I know her answer. She answer.
You did not hear his answer? Oh my god. It's okay. Later we'll see. Okay? You guys done? Or you guys are crying already for do a simple calculation?
A bit headache.
A bit headache. Oh my god. I just thinking to put this question into your test. Okay. Both of question done.
Not sure. I'm not sure my answer is correct. I think I'm wrong.
Okay, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
It's okay. Done for both questions.
Yep.
Okay, let's review. Did you get this one? Did you get the same answer like mine?
No.
Huh?
No.
Why no? Huh? Why no?
Why no?
So
Right.
the A plus B, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to plus or it's just because
For
100 plus 50 is 150, right? Or is it like in a different way for MS?
okay, this one is question 50, right? So did you read? It's supposed to be in MS, right? 50 MS. Okay. So you should use the formula D divided by W plus 0.5. Okay, so you should put your value to find the ID first. So D log base 2 bracket D is your 150 divided by 25. Okay, plus 0.5. Suppose you're going to get 2.70 bits. That is for your ID. Okay, from your ID, you put A plus B times with 2.70 bits. So 50 ms plus 100 ms per bit times 2.70. So bit cancel with bit. What do you get? You move, so you're going to get 50 ms plus 270. That's why you get 320 ms. You look properly. The B is ms per bit. Okay? You guys hear me? Hello?
I still don't
Yeah.
understand.
Yep.
You
If
still don't understand, huh? Yes.
the A also MS should be right.
Yes. ms, but B is ms per bit. You see, ms per bit, bukan ms.
Okay.
Okay. So, but the question is, they want it to be in ms only. This one already give you the predicted movement time is in ms. So bit and bit can be cancelled, right? So if you want to cancel, what can you do? Times, right? When you times, you can cancel, you can get your values, right? Oh, guys, are you
Yes.
surviving? Are you surviving?
Yep, I'm surviving.
Okay. So far, so good. Do you understand now?
Yep.
Okay. So question 2, wrong also lah for the computing part, for the predicted movement.
Yeah, because first also wrong.
Let's laugh together first. Okay? But it's okay. At least you learn something, right?
Yep.
So, okay? These two. So next, this is the questions. I want you to do it later. Okay? I will share the slide later. And or you want to screenshot also can. Okay? So next, we go for the conceptual and mental models. Okay. So this one is the models that you should know. Okay? You as a designer, you should have a conception about your system. Okay? And why? Why the designers need to have a conception about the system? So usually the system, you will tell what it should be done. Who would be the users? And usually the users will interact with your system and to perform what it should be done. So usually designer will have their own concept, but for users will based on their mental. Okay? So this conceptual and model is actually for you to instantiate your system, okay, invokes the existing knowledge and affordance for you to give a guide action to your users to prepare their mentals on how to use it. And based on that, okay, you're going to test your hypothesis, correct or not, what do you think about the users. Okay? So based on these simple things, is actually providing a more details concept here in the above one. Okay? So far, do you have any question for this one?
No.
No.
Don't have question? You don't want to ask me anything? Okay, so let's proceed. So scoping with problem with your pack. Okay, so usually pack it will covers a main group lah. Here we put the main group would be student, lecturers, and technician. Okay, so all of these people is well educated and understanding a thing. Okay, so we're going to have our few disability peoples, for example, colorblind, or people that have language barrier. For example, you can only speak in Chinese, but you cannot speak in Malay. Okay, so that would be the examples. Okay. So next, we're going into the UX design process. So UX design process, we have 5. First, you need to plan and do some scoping. You do it for you to narrow down your scope. And then once you narrow down your scope, you need to understand. Once you understand, only then you can specify the context. Okay? After you understand, you already specify, you need to design a solution. Once you design, only you can evaluate whether it is correct or not. Okay, once you evaluate, you need to iterate the process until we are finding a good or the best way to solve the problems. Okay, once you solve your problems, you can implement and do some project management. Okay, so based on this UX design process, we have a model that named as a double diamond. Why it named as a double diamond? So can you see the middle one, the orange diamond here? So these two things is actually the double diamond that you need to really understand. Okay? So this double diamond actually was developed by Design Council in UK in year 2005. Okay, so this will characterize your design process in 4 processes that start with D. So I would say that the name is 4D. Okay, 4D stand for discover, define, design, and deliver. Okay, so far, do you have any questions? So, when we involve this double diamond model, it is actually an iterative processes. Okay, so it will keep on repeating. So, in order to guide the design process, you as a designer need to think about your pack elements that already informed just now, right? So the people who will use the system are represented by personas. So these personas actually is the profile of the people. Okay, it can be their types, their archetypes, okay, and the people, the people that we design for, okay? And then what will be the activities and contexts they will occur are envisioned through the scenario, okay? And then different concrete scenario can be used to provide how different technologies that could function to achieve overall of your purpose of the system and delivery a good UX. Okay, so these personas and scenario, I would not cover in details because later on, if I'm not mistaken, you're going to take the subject name as user experience design, UI, UX, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so this one, maybe you will find it in the topics in much more details in the subject. So intentional, you need to have an intention. From the intention, you will produce a visions and strategies and to cover your problem. So once you have all of this information, you will do a decision. When you already decide, only then you can design. Design what? The way how you execute. What will be the tactics? What would be the solution? Okay, so once you have all of this, only then you can deliver it. Okay, so next, this is the overall design process. Okay, so just now we already have our double diamond, right? So this one is to characterize the design process. There will cover 4 activities. The first one would be your evaluation. Okay, it will be the center delivering a good UX, so which is everything would be evaluated in every step. For the process, you need to you can start it at any point. Sometimes it can be in your design part. Sometimes you can start in the envisionment part. So sometimes we can start with understanding. Okay. And then we can have activities. So these activities usually can happen in any orders. Okay, for example, understanding can be evaluated and a prototype can be built and evaluated, or in some aspect of physical design, it can be then identified. Okay? So next, user needs, goal, and behavior. How do you find out about the user needs, goal, and behaviors? We have few things can be done. Okay, first, we can go and do some interview or focus group. Okay, we can have some contextual inquiry or ethnography. We can give them some survey and questionnaires. So based on all of these three methods, you can have different output. The first one is you can have the personas. Okay, you can have the scenarios. You can have the journey maps. Okay. So far, do you have any questions? So if I no, so personas actually is a concrete representation for different types of people. That's why you can go for interview. You can interview that fella. Hi, how old are you? Where are you from? So this one, those information that you ask to the person is considered as you are developing a personas to get the personal how we say personal informations. Okay. For what? Maybe you want to design a software or an application for gardening. So will you ask people who in IT department about the gardening system? Is it suitable? No, right? So you must find somebody that is relate with the gardening system or gardening person, okay? To ask about the personas, okay? And then you can perform some contextual inquiry to find out what would be the scenarios, what would be their activities, okay? Next is about your journey maps. Okay, so when we talk about scenarios, it can be based on your stories, it can be your what else? Use cases, okay? And then for journey maps, what is journey maps? Anyone? What is journey maps? Huh. Anyone want to try? What is journey maps? No one knows. It's okay. I let you do the task. What is journey maps? Okay. So next, conducting user research. Okay. Just now I mentioned to you, you can do some survey, you can do some contextual inquiry, but did you know that these two things actually providing you two different data? Okay. For contextual inquiry, it is actually a qualitative techniques. It will provide you what? What type of data? Contextual. Huh. Qualitative data. Anyone know what is qualitative data? Hmm. Anyone? Hello?
Yep.
Hello?
Yep.
Huh. What is qualitative data?
No numerical information, is it?
Yeah. Qualitative data is something that you cannot count. It can be a natural or human answers like what? What frustrates you about the watering scheduler? What make you lost tempered? What makes you angry? Something that you cannot calculate. Okay, quantitative is something that you can project using prop. Okay, you can do the analytics review. Okay, so best practices, you can recruit a representative users, ensure that you are having ethical consent. Okay, triangulate your data sources. Okay, So next we go for usability testing. So usability testing is actually a technique that is used in user-centered interaction design to evaluate a product by testing it on your real user. We have few testing, which is the first one, lab-based moderated testing. We have remote unmoderated tests, and we have alpha beta testing. We have more testing. Okay, here I only share to you 3. But these 3 things, I want you to find out what are the example and what would be the differences. Okay. So next is about evaluation. So evaluation, usually we will have few matrices. Okay, but here I only shared with you only 4, okay, which is the task success rate, time on task, your error rate, the SAS score, okay. And then we're going to have iterative evaluation cycle. Okay, so we have PTAR. PTAR is stand for plan, test, analyze, and refine. So P is you to define the objective, your task, your participants, and your metrics that you want to cover for the evaluation. Test, you need to conduct a sessions or an experiments. Okay. Next, once you're done with your tests, okay, once you're done with your session, you need to analyze. You need to compile all of your results and observations. Okay, and then you need to refine it again. Update your design based on the result that you have analyzed and repeat the cycle. Okay, until you find that the system is already good enough, people are satisfied, and so on. Okay, so next, iterative design and user feedback. So this one we're going to have PTAR. Okay, PTAR is the cycles when we say about iterative design. It will be different, This one is PTAR where you plan for this one. The first PTAR is for evaluation cycle. This one is for you to design and provide the user feedback. Prototype, test, analyze, and redesign. Okay, this one is plan. This one is prototype. Okay, so feedback channels, it can be getting from you interview your users. You get from your reviews. You get from your beta testing program. So what would be the goal for you to get all of this? To do some gradual improvement, provide the risk mitigation, and stakeholder alignment, because we have a lot of stakeholder. Sometimes the stakeholder opinions are different. Okay, so that's why you need to do the prototype, test, analyze, and redesign until all of the stakeholder having the same opinion and agree. Okay, so far so good.
Yep.
Okay, so next, cross-channel and multi-device user experience challenges. Due to different sizes of your screen, input modalities, and context. So due to all of this, you need to produce a few strategy. Okay, so what will be the strategy? Responsiveness. We need to cover for responsiveness. Adaptive design. You need to go for mobile first approach. Why we need to go for mobile first approach? Anyone know? Anyone know why we need to go for mobile first approach?
Don't know.
Don't know.
Don't know. Okay, let me ask you. How many times a day you hold your phone instead of you are holding your PC or your laptop?
Oh, okay. I know it right now.
Why out of sudden you know already? Because now you say you don't know.
Yeah, now I know. Because a lot of people,
Others.
because a
Because
lot of
people.
people at least got one phone, but some of people maybe got desktop or laptop, but easy to hand carry is a mobile phone. So in how to say that, Mostly
Mm,
people
okay.
lah, mostly people
Mm.
using phone time quite longer than the laptop and desktop lah.
Good. So now you can see why we need to go for mobile first approach, because everyone going to have their own phone. And most of the time you are playing with your phone more compared to you're playing with your laptops or your PC. Okay? And then you need to provide a consistent branding and interaction pattern. Okay? So far, do you have any questions?
No.
Oh,
So next, here comes the thing. So we're going to perform 30 minutes of class activity. So I want you to do in pair. In pair. So we only have 2, 4, 6, 6 students here. I will break you into 3 rooms. Okay. So Farmit, you want to group with who? Farmit.
anyone also can.
Anyone also can. So I mix up all around, eh? Farmit, you are from where?
KL.
KL.
Yeah.
KL, eh? KL, I assign you with Ti Chong Yi boleh?
Boleh.
So this is the things that you need to do, eh? You guys need to discuss, okay, what would be the application that you want. Okay, so you need to screenshot, provide the task description, you need to provide the pack analysis tables, okay, list the 3 usability issues of your app, okay, and then you need to do some redesign and so on lah, for relatable with today's chapters. Okay, the best part, you need to do the fit loss calculation and do some recommendation. Okay, so that one, the class activity, you need to submit once we finish our class today. Okay, so let me add you first. So Parmit, I assign you with Chong Yi. Room 1. Then we have Edison. Can I pair you with Chin Hong Fong?
No problem.
No problem. And then Lim Jin Jie, I will assign you with Lai Ben Lee. Okay?
Okay.
So, okay, so I will wander around to find you guys later. And let's start with your task.
Okay.
Bye bye. See you. Hi, welcome back, everyone. Hi, welcome back, everyone.
Yeah, but
Hi,
I
again.
haven't finished yet.
Haven't finished it, but it's okay. I will create a folder for class activity later. Just drop it inside the folder, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I think that's all for today. Thank you. So far, do you have anything else you want to share? No? Good. So thank you a lot, guys. See you and see you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Miss.
Thanks for you. See you guys. See you, George.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Miss.
Bye.
Okay, thank you, Miss.
Okay.